Hi everyone and welcome back to Elite Tech Club. In this video, we are diving into two essential tools every JavaScript developer uses, comments and the console. Comments help us write code that's easier to understand, and the console help us see what our code is doing behind the scenes. Let's get started. In JavaScript, comments are pieces of text that the browser completely ignores. They're just for humans to read. We have two types of comments. One is single line comments, the other one is multi-line comments. So let's see them in the IDE. I created a folder called comments on console. Like before, I create two files, one HTML file and one JS file. This is our HTML file and this one is our script. Using the emmet abbreviation, typing in an exclamation mark, then pressing the tab key, we have the skeleton of the HTML file. Then we can add the script tag and adding src attribute, set it to the name of our JavaScript file, script.js. Now we are done. Then in our script file, first I would like to declare a variable, let city equals to Milan. Then on top of that, I insert a comment. So in order to do so, I type in two forward slashes, then usually a space, and then here is the sentence that we want to add. Milan is a beautiful city. Then let's declare another variable, this time country equals to Italy, and then here I would like to add a multi-line comment. So in order to do that, I need to add a forward slash and then an asterisk to open the comment, let's say, and then to close it we go the opposite direction. So first the asterisk and then the forward slash. In between, we can add the comment. Usually we press the tab key to just make it more readable. For example, Italy is located in Southern Europe. The first line, and then second line, the capital of Italy is Rome. So this is a multi-line comment. Here we saw how we can add comments to our code. Now let's see a real-world example. So I remove this code, and before we continue, I would like to emphasize that we use comments to explain why something is done, not what is obvious. So the code should be self-explanatory. This is important. Here, in our next example, I would like to calculate the price of something after tax. So we have a base price, for example, 100, then we need the tax rate, which is 10%, for example, and then the total, which needs to be calculated. So price plus price multiplied by tax rate. Here, a good comment would be calculate total price after tax. Here we are explaining why we are adding this code. So it's not a good practice to explain this formula because, this formula should be self-explanatory, which is actually. Now let's talk about another powerful tool you'll use all the time, the JavaScript console. The JavaScript console is your best friend for debugging and exploring the code. Here we have the browser open on the right-hand side. If I click on Go Live to start live server, or alternatively click on the HTML file in the file explorer, we see this empty page. If I right click on that and click on inspect, we see the developers tool, then we have the console tab. So if we click on that, here we see the console. So in our code, I can write console.log to print something, to see what is our code doing. So I want to see the value of total, so I log total here, then save the file, and here we see that the value of total has been printed here, 119. To distinguish errors and warnings, we also have console.error and console.warn. Let's see them. So console.warn shows us the warning. So this is a warning, and console.error shows us an error. Something went wrong. So if I save the file here, you see the warning, and then there are, we can also log more complex variables, for example, objects. We will dive deeper into objects, arrays, functions, and more complex types in future. But here I just want to show you how they will be printed in our console. So let movie, for example, movie equals, then we use curly braces, title, movie has a title, example 7. We separate the key value pairs with a comma. Then we have the director, who is David Fincher. Then we print this variable movie. Let's see how it will be shown there. So I save it. Here you see this object. So if I click on this little arrow here, now we can see it in a clearer way. Also, there's another way of showing that. So console.table, as you can imagine, this will be shown in a tabular mode. So I save it. Here you see this object and the keys. We call this title and director the keys, and here the values. We use logs only during development, so we should clean them up before going to production. So to wrap up, use comments to explain your thought process and clarify complex logic. Use console to check values, test code, and find bugs. These are two simplest yet most powerful tools you have in your JavaScript toolkit. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next video in our JavaScript series. And in the comments, write a small program and use both comments and console logs throughout it. Thanks for watching, and see you next time on Elite Tech Club.